Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am doing my August bullet journal and my theme is books, since I know a lot of people are going to be going back to school and fall semester is near, and I don't know, I just wanted to do books. So here we are. I'm doing my cover page, which I chose to do differently. I did kind of change it a bit up. Normally I just do one thing, but with this one I was like, you know what, I'm going to do several. So I decided to do these books, which you didn't get to see me draw because unfortunately I forgot to hit record and then I realized it, but you get to see me do most of the things that I like. I'm going to skip over this part right here that I'm doing because I actually ended up messing up. So I just wanted to show you guys that I actually do start doing something, but then I cover it up. So I'm just going to skip over to where I start fixing it. You see me actually finish this up, and I wanted to create like this banner, but it didn't turn out like I wanted it to. So I go back and I completely cover it in a minute. But I did go in with a very light, like it looks like a glass color in the Crayola Super Tip pen, and I outline my, you could say, mason jar. Then I go back and you can see that I start filling in this banner that I did not like because I was like, no, this is not pretty. So I did like a sort of pattern with my Faber-Castell B pen. I only use my Faber-Castell B and F pen, and then I use the Uniball white pen just to go over it, because if you didn't know this, if you have a Faber-Castell B pen, your Uniball will work on top of it. So it helps. This is the color that I was talking about, and this is my accent color. I did white and this accent color of books, so I thought it was very cute. And then there is my August spread, which is my calendar, just my full calendar. I did 4 weeks instead of the actual 5, because if I did 5, then it was going to take up the whole page, and normally I like to put reminders and notes because I actually do use those. And then on the left hand side, I did little bookshelves just with the random things on them. Like I think I put glasses on one and then just more books on the others. On the right hand side, I do mason jars, and I covered them in the same color, not covered them, but just outlined them enough to where you could see the accent color. And then I put some flowers inside them because I can't live or breathe without flowers. I like having flowers in my bullet journal. I just think they represent spring, and I didn't do a really bright color with my flowers. I did a light pink. It almost looks like a peachy color, but I have them on top of a book, and I thought it was so cute. This is the massive part of the whole idea with the books that I had in my head. I envisioned this blackboard with the chalk on it, and I know that many people have done this, but I have never braved to do it. I had only ever done it once in the beginning of my bullet journal. So you guys are seeing me do this with my Faber-Castell pen. When you have this pen, I do recommend to have 2 because it does become very frail and it loses its shape when you start pushing on it so much. So I skipped ahead, and you guys saw that you didn't actually see the whole thing, but I didn't want to bore you just with me drawing lines. I went up and down vertically. I know it kind of looks messy right now, but I actually ended up liking how it turned out. I like the distressed feel of it and how it looks. I did these little things also that were hanging off that are going to say reminder and notes also, because I imagined this like in a library where you would come in and you would see, or like a bistro. Is that what you call it? Yes. And you can see it when you come in, like they have the menus and stuff. And I enjoyed that. So you can see me now with my Uniball pen. I went in, and you very lightly do this so that you can see the white lines on it like it is chalk. And I went and did my lines. Again, it's just 4 weeks. I didn't do my 5th week because part of my 5th week is going to be in my September calendar. So I didn't want to just add another line and not have my reminder in my notes. So I just went with 4 weeks because that's what I normally do. I always do 4 weeks. And these fall perfectly in line because August 1st lands on Wednesday. So I went in and I put all of my detail in the Uniball pen, and I loved it. I think it's just one of the greatest things about having this pen and about having that Faber-Castell B pen that you can write on it. It's just so great. And you can also do this with all the other ones, M, F, S, all of them, but they're just finer, so it takes a lot more. The B, I think, is the largest I've found with the pens. I hope that they do create more that are larger. specifically for this because you can put them underneath the white and have them stand out. So I did some accent colors, and then we're moving on. This next one is my trackers, which I hadn't done trackers in a while. I wasn't really up for them for a little bit, but I think I'm going to get back into it. I have a little bit more of a habitual, you could say, schedule. Yes, I think that's the word. So I did 6 of them, and I left one blank because that one is a little bit more private to me, and I didn't want to put it on there. I know what it is, but I left it blank just for myself. And I did these random little drawn out bookmarks that I love because when I think about bookmarks, I think about books. So because you put them in books. So I decided, you know what? My trackers are going to be on these bookmarks, and I decided to do little quotes at the bottom of them as well. And you can see I'm looking back and like, what was it? What did I use to track? Because it's been so long. And that is my March bullet journal. I also did some in April, but I didn't fully go through with them. So hopefully I can actually pay attention to what I'm doing and actually fill these in, which I am going to make a bigger effort on doing because I do love to track things, and it is really amazing to go back and see, oh look, I did this during that month. That was a good month for me, and just self-evaluate a lot better, which helps at the end of the month when I actually do my evaluation of the month. So anyways, I'm babbling on. Now you see me doing my little drop shadows because I wanted to put a little bit of color. I didn't want to excessively put too much color into this because I am going to be using the accent color that I'm using to fill in my bullet tracker. So my trackers, excuse me. And I just think that it would be too much. So I did add a little quote in the bottom. It says, so many books, so little time, which I have seen so many times. And I actually did this little foldable display, I would say that, a little foldable display, and I wrote the word trackers on it because I always see those in libraries, you know, when they're trying to make time or show you where things are at, and I don't know, I just thought it was very cute. At the top over here, I didn't do much with my budget. I just gave it this little accent, and I used the word budget as a book barrier to this little shelf. And I really liked it, but I left it blank because I will be doing a lot of budgeting. I have noticed that I've been doing that a lot more, but I've been doing it separate to my bullet journal. And I wanted to incorporate these back because this is part of my daily life, so I want it to stay there. Now you're looking at me doing my brain dump, which I love, but again, I did it, so I can't say much. But I did this long bookshelf at the top, and I was going to put a ladder on this bookshelf, like the sliding ladders, but I thought, no, I kind of want it really open because I do want to be able to dump a lot of this on. So maybe you might see that in one of my weekly ones, and I'll try to recreate the same type of pattern to where I can have one of those bigger ones. I will tell you that this video is very long, and I'm trying to make it shorter, so you will see some skips when I'm actually doing certain things, just so that this video is not overly long, because I thought it was going to be short, and apparently drawing books is not very slow. It's actually, no, it's not very fast. It's very slow because you have to do very detailed things. But again, I did my accent colors, and I added a little bit of greenery because I didn't want the blue to just be left out. And then I added a little bit of pink when it came to the book separators, just so that it gave it some color. Next is my week 1 of August, which ended up being my favorite basically idea. I just thought that this was so cute. And I ended up stacking books, just going down, and you can see that I started with Monday. One of the books that is bigger and has the 2 lines running down it is my week, where it starts off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I carried it down all the way to the bottom. Now, you don't have to do this. I think if you put them in shelves as well, it would work, but I don't know. The idea of having all these books like this just made my head so happy. So I ended up doing Monday through Friday on the left-hand side and following it to the right. And you can just discern these little books, bigger and smaller, bigger and smaller. I didn't keep a really good pattern with it because I wanted it to be somewhat spontaneous. And I like that. I like the variety. When you place books like this, you don't really try to put them in order, by length or by height. So I like that idea that they were just kind of stacked everywhere. And I went ahead and I did Saturday and Sunday on the right hand side, and on the top I added my quote, because you guys know that it's all about my quote. I love having a quote at the end or anywhere near the beginning or wherever, just to remind myself of things or just what inspires me. And this month, what inspired me was actually going back to school, and part of that is reading and doing all this literature with books. So what better way to show that than by adding a quote? And the quote that I ended up using was, a room without books is like a body without a soul. I know that when I was younger, I actually didn't read, and now I'm such a book nerd. So, which probably makes sense because I like bullet journaling, but I just think that it's very important to read. I'm a big advocate for reading. You don't learn a lot unless you read, and it's just one of those things that I think that the more you read, the better you get at it. So I love words and I love creating, and writers that create just make my whole world so much better. So I added it on to this little display. Again, with my Faber-Castell B pen, I did the background, and then I used my Uniball pen to finish it up. But yeah, that's my bullet journal for August. I just did some accent coloring, and that's it. So now you're going to see me do the August part of this. I actually went back with it, and I covered it up like you remember, and then I went in with my Uniball pen and I wrote August, and I tried to do it in calligraphy style, just as if it were hanging down like a bookmark in a book. And then I just did some accent things. I fixed them up a little bit with my Faber-Castell F pen, and that's it. This is my bullet journal. You're going to see me do my final flip through in a second, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. Remember, I'm posting every Saturday. Next week, I will be doing my week 2 of August, so I hope to see you there. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.